Jake LaRavia.
Wow, what a deep one there.
Wow.
Kenny Lofton Jr. is a young Charles Barkley meets Paul Millsap. 6'7" monster of almost 300 pounds and amazing ball skills, Kenny Lofton Jr. is making a name for himself in the NBA world, brilliantly showcasing his skills at the NBA Summer League. Early life. Kenny Lofton Jr. was born on August 14, 2002 in Port Arthur, Texas. His father, Kenny Lofton Sr., served in the U.S. Army. His grandfather, Gene Rock Duhan, was a track and field athlete. He got inducted into the Southern University Track Hall of Fame. He even competed in the United States Olympic trials. His older sister, Kennedy, played college basketball at Southern University. He started playing at 2 years old at the YMCA, said Lofton Sr. He always said he wanted to play pro basketball and be the best to come out of Port Arthur, so he's on his way. We tell him it's a blessing just to work hard and keep pushing yourself. However, his dreams of playing basketball were nearly shattered that same year. At the age of 2, a tumor was discovered in his brain. Thankfully, the doctors in the Children's Hospital in Houston managed to successfully remove the tumor without complications. At the age of 4, he would wake up and go to sleep with the basketball. Young Lofton grew up playing basketball as a shooting guard in Memorial High School in Texas until he hit his growth spurt. Then his dad started showing him videos of Hakeem Olajuwon. He learned how to handle the ball as a guard, and after his growth spurt, he moved to the post. In his sophomore season, his team won a 5A state title. In his senior year, Lofton Jr. averaged 17 points, 10 rebounds, and 3 assists per game. He became a McDonald's All-American nominee. After his successful senior year, he wrote a letter of intent to play college basketball for Louisiana Tech. In his freshman year at Louisiana Tech University, he scored a season-high 27 points and grabbed 13 rebounds, draining a game-winning shot in a 76-74 win over Colorado State. That helped his team secure 3rd place in the National Invitation Tournament. His size helped him to become a double-double machine, averaging 12.1 points and 7.5 rebounds per game. That season, he had 9 double-doubles, and he led the team in scoring and in rebounding, making him the 5th Bulldog in program history to do that. In the summer of 2021, he played for the USA Basketball U19 team at the World Cup in Latvia. In 5 out of 7 games, he scored 14-plus points, and he led his team in field goal percentage, 64.9%. He became the first U.S. player since 1987 to average at least 13 points and 5 rebounds and have at least 60% from the field. In the semifinals, he scored 16 points and grabbed 7 rebounds in their win against Canada. In the finals, he scored 16 points and had 7 rebounds in their win against France. Nobody could deal with the size and strength of Kenny Lofton Jr. Being 6'7" and weighing 275, he was a force to be reckoned with. Also, his skills with the ball, coming from his days as a shooting guard, were way above the average for a post player. Even though he didn't win the MVP award, Lofton Jr. was named New American Hero. After that, he became a noteworthy player, and scouts were beginning to plan his future. Back to college. In the season of 2021 to 2022, Kenny Lofton Jr. started in every game, 33 total. He led his team in scoring with 543 points, and he had the highest number of double-doubles, 17. With 53.9% from the field, he had the 2nd best percentage in the league. In November 2021, he scored a career-high 36 points and grabbed 17 rebounds against NC State. A week later, he dropped 31 at Santa Clara and had 14 rebounds. He earned the title of CUSA Player of the Week. In the CUSA tournament, he spent 27.8 minutes on the court per game, and he averaged 17 points, a team high, and 10.5 rebounds, leading Louisiana Tech to the championship game after their wins against Marshall, Western Kentucky, and North Texas. Even though they didn't manage to clinch the title against UAB, he dropped a team-high 23 points and grabbed 9 rebounds in the finals. Later on, he was named First Team All-Conference USA. In March 2022, Lofton Jr. announced he was going to sign up for the NBA draft, but will maintain his college eligibility. That means if he's not drafted, he would still have the chance to return to school. Since he wasn't projected to be selected in the draft, he had to find another way of showing what he could do. After going undrafted, Lofton Jr. signed a 2-way contract with the Memphis Grizzlies. His father said that Jr. had been communicating with Memphis for some time. They already had that contract in place a couple of days before the draft if he didn't get picked, Lofton Sr. said. They really believe he could become a key player for their franchise in the future. Summer League. After signing a two-way contract, Jr. had his shot. He would play for the Grizzlies in the NBA Summer League. In his Summer League debut, he scored 9 points against the Philadelphia 76ers. In his second Summer League game, against the Oklahoma City Thunder, he showed what he could do. And he can do everything. Play in the post, pass, score, and shoot long-range threes. He scored 19 points, grabbed 6 rebounds, and had 3 assists. Playing against the second overall pick of the draft, Chet Holmgren, Jr. showed that he is a force to be reckoned with. He viciously attacked him all night and managed easily to bully him in the paint. In that game, he even managed to get a reaction out of an NBA superstar. Ja Morant, who came to watch him play, had to dap up Jr. after his deep three in the last second of their possession. He even tweeted at Lofton Jr. after he crushed Holmgren in the paint. Seems like Ja likes what he sees in the big fella, and it is likely they might be playing together in the future. In a win over the Brooklyn Nets, Lofton Jr. scored 11 points and had 4 assists. He dominated his opponents in the paint and even attracted the attention of CJ McCollum, who was commentating on the game on ESPN. In the first 3 games, he averaged 15 points and 4.6 rebounds per game. In the last 2 games, he was the leading scorer of his team. And in his last game, he put on a show. He finished the Summer League with 27 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 blocks against the San Antonio Spurs. He shot for 62.5% from the field. He even scored 15 points in the fourth quarter, but it wasn't enough to secure the win. However, he schooled Dominic Barlow, San Antonio's big man, shoving and scoring relentlessly on him. He has performed real good, Lofton Sr. said. He has performed above expectations. He has performed very well on the big stage by showing everyone what he can do. He is trying to get that guaranteed contract, which I think is probably going to come. In his spare time, Jr. loves to play video games. His favorite video game is Call of Duty, and he also loves hanging out with his family. He loves to wear Crocs, and he has an unbelievable size 18 shoe. Being a proud Port Arthur resident, he wants to give back to his community by supporting young athletes and helping them build confidence and hone their skills. When asked who is his favorite NBA player, he said it was James Harden. The young fellow has a lot to learn yet, but judging by his step-back threes, it seems he's on his way to greatness. I'm hoping we will see Lofton Jr. next season, playing alongside Ja Morant, Dillon Brooks, Jaren Jackson, and the rest of the squad, since Memphis already has 16 players on their roster, and that's counting that they part ways with Danny Green. They need to make a decision because I don't think a player like Lofton Jr. will have to wait long for a real NBA contract.